Okay, should be recording now. Okay, so you mentioned before. Okay, what's up, guys? It's Mr. Jam Vad. So I have a coaching session going on right now, and I'm about to share something with him that'll help him with something he's struggling with. And because I haven't taught it before, I was like, screw it. I asked him if I could record it, and he didn't mind. So we're just gonna do this live. The entire coaching call won't be live, but just this little part will be, and then I'll share it. If you want to know more, ask me in the comment section down below. And so, just as a recap, Charlie, could you just give them a little idea on what your frustrations are right now?
Yeah, of course. Hi guys, it's me, Charles. So I have this, this frustrating feeling every time I want to play. I feel like I'm not good enough to play, and I'm not at the point right now where I wanted to be or where I was at another time, and so I just go ahead and don't play the game of Pokemon, even though I love it so much.
And what I know many of my viewers already know what that's called, but we're gonna take it one step at a time here, and this is gonna be exciting because it's going to be a very insightful process, hopefully, and I'll refine the teaching of this over and over as we go, but we're just going to start here. So Charlie, what you're dealing with is something called a player issue, and I'm going to explain to you what that means. So in any game, there are 3 things you need to master. I wonder if there's a text option. There's the player level. I'll check on that afterwards. So the player is who you are as a person, meaning whether you're playing Pokemon. What other games do you play competitively?
Competitively, I used to play Hearthstone competitively.
Hearthstone.
Like very competitively.
Okay, perfect. Anything else?
I used to play a bit of Call of Duty. Yeah. The usual, I think. I don't know. FIFA.
Mm-hmm.
2K.
2K. Okay, excellent. Yeah. You had a lot of competitive games that you played. Perfect. I used to be a big FIFA man myself. Had to stop. Yeah, that was like the only other game I used to play other than Pokemon. Loved FIFA. So that's actually perfect right there. So the player, every game, every competitive game, really anything you have that you're putting your time in has these 3 layers. They have the player level, they have the game level, and they have the character level. The player is the person that is playing the game. So in that case, it's going to be Charles. Yeah, I definitely should have put text. I'm not used to using a mouse pad, but that's you. And what this means is how Charles thinks, how Charles perceives things, who Charles is going to affect everything else. So let's say whenever Charles loses, feels bad, feels frustrated, beats himself up, that is going to affect your game. And so this is called your mindset. Because when you think about it, when you sit down and go on Showdown, right?
I'm listening.
When you sit down and go on Showdown, who's playing the game?
That's me.
That's you, right? And so it seems obvious, but what players don't realize is who you are affects how you play. And I mean who you are as a person. So let's say that we have 2 people, right? We have a guy named Billy. Whenever Billy loses, he's like, dang it, my opponent is trash. This lucky players don't know what the hell they're doing. I'm garbage at this game. how could I have made that mistake? Ah, are you stupid? Referring to himself. And then you have this other player, when he makes a mistake, he goes, okay, that sucked, but there's something to learn here. I really wish I didn't make that mistake, but I know mistakes are necessary for me to get to where I want to go to. I lost. I don't like losing, but I know losing is good, because within losing are lessons. And if I lose often enough, eventually I'll start winning, because I'll learn from the losses. He may get 6-0 and he's like, dang, the opponent just played better than me and I just need to improve. Which of those two players, mind you don't know anything about their game skills. You don't know anything about their teams. You don't know anything else about them. All you know is who they are as a player, how they think. Who do you think will go further?
Of course, the second one.
Why is that?
Because these are the people that learn from their mistakes.
Bingo. So if that's true, why do you think people struggle with that? Because I agree with you. That's true. People, and it's not like rocket science, right?
Of course not. But it's hard to admit to yourself that you fucked up. Oh, my bad.
No, it's fine. You can swear. Bingo.
Like, it's hard to admit it to yourself.
Right.
That you made the wrong turn. It's either to say he crit me again, or or freeze. Stuff like that.
Right. Perfect. That right there, that way of thinking is a player. That's a personal issue. That's another good way to think of this. Personal stuff. Meaning, how big is this player's ego, right? Is he the type of player that's like, I lost, but, the opponent played better than me? Or is it the type of person who's like, yo, you're trash, bro. You just got lucky. Depends on the type of player, and that's going to matter to his game. So that's called your mindset, the player. The next part is the game. So in this case, we're going to use Pokemon. I'll just put Poke, so I don't have to waste time trying to write this all out again. My choppy writing. So Poke, that's the game we're playing. And so this is where people tend to focus. This is known as your skill set. So whenever you're playing a game, whether it be 2K, whether it be FIFA, Hearthstone, every game has rules to it. So Pokemon, the 3 actions, you can attack, defend, and switch. That's a rule. There's nothing you can do about that, no matter who you are as a player. In Pokemon, ground is weak to ice. There's nothing the player can do about that. Right? There's certain rules built into the game. Charizard is fire and flying. There's nothing you as a player can ever do about that. So those are the game part are just the rules. And skill set is when a player gets really good at winning using the rules of that game. Am I making sense?
Of course.
Okay. So this right here is where people tend to focus. They're like, okay, I'm losing. I need to fix my skill set. I'm not playing right. Yes, that is true. But there's this part right here. That's more important, which is crazy to think, than the game part. Your mindset is more important than your skill set. And I'll share a story with you. Theo, actually, one of the members of the academy, one of the moderators in there. Theo wanted to try out for World Cup, right? He thought he was hot stuff. He may have been in the 1700s at the time, maybe, or 1500s. It's like, I think I can make the team, right? He was trying out for England or UK. And so he's like, okay, I think I'm ready, and goes to the tryouts. But before he did, he watched a video of mine, a mindset video, hint, hint. And the mindset video is about how to progress while having fun. So He goes, watches the video. I believe he came to ask me for tips or advice before he started, before he tried out. And I sent him that video. I don't recall that part, so I could be lying there. But I do remember him watching the video before. And when he watched it, he was like, yeah, I know this. Right? And so I was like, okay, cool. Good luck. So he goes, plays for the tryouts, and gets absolutely crushed. And didn't make the team. And so that moment was a wake-up call for him, because your ego gets destroyed, right? It's like, well, shoot, I thought I was this good and I just got crushed. Maybe I don't know everything. Maybe there's something else. If I can't produce the results, then maybe there's something else I need to learn. Maybe I'm not teachable. And so when he lost, something from the video he just watched popped up in his mind. And it was identifying being the type of player that's always wanting to learn. Is not playing to look cool. Is not playing to impress other people. Is not playing to cover up some internal issue. It's like, I want to learn. There's so much I don't know. And so because of that insight he had, he was in, I think, 1500s. 24 hours later, after he got that insight, he's like, you know what? I'm not going to attach myself to my results anymore. If I'm at the 1400s, that's okay. There's a lot to learn. I'm going to play to learn. I'm not going to beat myself up for losing, because I know losing is good, which he learned from the video. I'm just going to play to learn. If I lose, yes, I learn. If I win, yes, I learn. And that was his attitude, meaning his mindset changed. He did not learn any new skills from the video. None at all, because the video didn't have anything about skill set. He went from 1500 or 1550 in 24 hours to 1980. He jumped 400 plus points and got to top 10 in 24 hours. How is that possible?
It all starts with the mindset.
Did he gain any new skills?
No, he doesn't.
None. But he went from not even on the ladder to top 10 in 24 hours. And so I share that story to emphasize how much the player part, this is 80% of why most players aren't seeing results. And here's what's crazy about it. It doesn't matter the game. So if that player thinks like this, oh, when I lose, damn it, I'm garbage. No matter what game, HS is going to mean Hearthstone. No matter what game you play. That's FIFA, by the way. No matter what game you play. And here's an interesting one. That's a game as well. No matter what game it is. If the player, the mindset does not change, he will struggle no matter what game he switches to. So have you ever had the urge, or you ever had a situation where, you're playing this game, you get like destroyed and you feel really bad about the losses, and so you turn the game off and you try to play something else?
Actually, probably before, but reading your book. I was always like that, probably.
And there's nothing to be ashamed of. Like, I used to have the same issue before I learned this information. Right? My player part was the issue. My mindset was the issue. So I thought switching games or switching tiers or switching something here would fix the problem. But no matter what I switched to, it was the same issue. So that's when I decided, I need to work on this level. I need to work on my mindset. I need to learn that losing is good and not beat myself up, and I'm not complaining and blaming the opponent, right? I had to grow as a player, as a person, and then everything else started to get better. Is that making sense so far?
Yep.
Okay. So what understanding have you gained from it so far, so that I'm making sure that you're understanding me?
It all starts with the mindset. Like, you gotta lose first to win.
Yep. And why don't you just fix your game then? Why not focus solely on the game?
Because it's not about the game. It's about yourself.
Well, it is about the game. You still want to win, right? We're not here to lose all day. We still want you to win. So you do need the skill sets, right? And I asked you that. I haven't explained the answer to that yet, but I wanted it to go through your mind so you're thinking about it. Like, why is it so important? That's because how you see a situation changes based on how you think. So, remember the two players I gave you an example of?
Mm-hmm.
And you said the second guy would do way better than the first one?
Yep.
The only difference between those two players is the way they think and the way they see the game. There's no other difference. One says, okay, I lost, but I can learn from it. One says I lost, and it's my opponent's fault, and they're trash. That's the only difference. The reason it's so important to fix the players because you can both be playing the same game the exact same way, but because you see it differently, you get different results. So the player that views that something is losing is good. Okay, I can learn from it. I can learn from my mistakes. I'm going to look at my mistakes no matter how uncomfortable it is until I get better. And the player that I'm going to X out of Showdown because I just got destroyed 3 games in a row. In a month, those two players will be night and day. One player will probably be 200 points higher, 100 point higher. One will be at the same place he's been at in a month. But the only difference is how they look at the game and think. And thinking is something that's ingrained in the person. It has nothing to do with the game. So they generally think like this when they're having trouble at school, having trouble at work. And there's whatever game they're playing, relationship, it's your fault. That's where the work needs to happen. Is that making sense? And what questions do you have so far?
No.
It's not. No.
I'm still waiting for the third pillar.
Okay, I'll just say thing. Do you have any questions so far?
No. Just keep going. Go ahead.
All right, cool.
It's all making sense.
Cool, but there's something that we need to check in on because you might just be there, and it doesn't make sense. So it's something you have to check in on. And feel free. There's no dumb question. So if at any point you need clarification, let me know. Okay.
Alright, bet.
Okay, cool. So the last layer using Pokemon here is the vehicle, or this character or vehicle. Vehicle means what tool do you use to get the job done. So okay, so you're Charles and you're playing Pokemon. What do you need before you can battle somebody in Pokemon?
A team.
A team. Bingo. So that's called your vehicle. That's the thing you use to actually play. In Call of Duty, it would be, the guns you have, your that kind of stuff, right? In Hearthstone, yes. It's what, decks? There are decks in Hearthstone, right?
Yes, there are decks.
Decks. I don't know anything about Hearthstone, so never played it. I have no idea what it is. But I had a friend that played it, so decks. So in Hearthstone, this would be a deck. So let me ask you this. Have you ever been losing and you're like, damn, I need to change this team?
Yeah, of course. You sometimes you go like you see that you lost because you don't have a tag on, or because it's a different item
Mm-hmm.
would have made you win,
Mm-hmm.
maybe, or you would have a higher chance to win.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta adapt, right?
Yep, I agree. What about Hearthstone? How does that work? Do people change their decks often when they're not losing? When they're not winning?
Yeah, it's like it's the meta, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you gotta play a different card to counter another card.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay, that makes sense. And so, and then FIFA would be whatever teams and players you're using, and 2K, same thing.
Yep.
Okay, so this is the final layer that you need to master: the character, the team. So if Charles is just has a perfect mindset and he has dope skills because he's been training, with Jam, he still needs to master the vehicle. He needs to have a good team because these two can line up. But if this is not good, then you can still run into issues, even though these two are good. Right. And so all three of these need to be solid. That's supposed to be an arrow. So all three of these need to be solid in order for you to get success, especially when you're going to be the best, like a number one, right? So after going over that, is there anything that's not clear? Any questions you have?
Nah, it all makes sense, really, Jam.
Okay.
Great job.
Cool. I appreciate that. So currently, this is where you need to work the most. You said your biggest issue is you're not having as much fun. Now, it may feel like, man, I need to go to Jam so he can train me, and I will give you some skills. But you're having a player issue. And just like Theo, when you adjust how you look at the game, you adjust your results. Even if you don't change your skills or your team. And sometimes that's going to be a 400-point difference. And I've had people go to number one just from changing their mindset, the player part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're like 1,500 number one. I get these messages all the time. All the time. I just don't talk about them every video, but all the time. And this is what they changed. And they were like, damn, what are you talking about, man? What's this mindset stuff? I was like, okay, if you're happy with the results you're getting, then have a good day. And they're like, okay, I'll try it. Then I get that inevitable PM a week later. Oh my God, I jumped 300 points. I can't believe this mindset stuff worked. Right? Just telling you, I don't create the rules, man. It's the game of life. I don't create the rules. I just play. Just play to the rules. And so that's pretty much. I just wanted to go over that to show you. There's something else I'm going to show you after this, but I just wanted you to understand this first, and then whoever is in the audience, if you have any more questions, I'm definitely going to learn to explain this better. But again, this is my first time ever sharing it because this is in a separate book that has nothing to do with Pokemon. There's a gaming book on the way. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next one.